Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about the brand new Palworld update, version 1.081.654. And man, there's a ton to unpack here. This update just dropped, and it's bringing that spooky season energy we were hoping for with a big Halloween themed event, some cool new features, and even updates to Zoe's storyline that have a lot of players talking. Whether you've been building your base nonstop, hunting down alpha pals, or just getting your friends together for raids, this one's definitely worth checking out. So, right off the bat, the thing that everyone's probably most excited about is the Halloween content. Pocket Pair's been teasing this for a little while, and now it's officially live. You can jump into a brand new seasonal mission called the Halloween Mission, and it's actually really well put together. Completing it lets you unlock Zoe's new Halloween outfit, which looks amazing, and a Depresso themed armor set for your character that fits perfectly with the whole spooky vibe. It's not just a recolor either. There are some neat glowing effects and details that make it look like something straight out of a gothic fantasy setting. It's the kind of armor you'd actually want to show off in multiplayer, and I can already see this becoming a favorite in the community screenshots over the next few weeks. Now, the Halloween event itself isn't just cosmetic fluff. There's a bit of story and challenge baked into it. You'll notice some of the regular pals out in the wild are dressed up, and there are new event-exclusive drops that tie into crafting certain limited-time items. The devs have said this event is only going to run for a limited window, so if you're the type that likes to collect everything, you're going to want to hop in soon. What I love is that it doesn't feel like an afterthought. It feels like a fun little chapter in the Palworld universe that fits naturally into what's already there. But here's the part that's getting everyone really curious: the Zoe's Sphere mission. This is new content that builds off the existing Zoe storyline. If you've played through the main tower bosses, you know Zoe is the boss of Rain Tower, and she and her Grizzbolt are kind of the face of Palworld. Up until now, she's been more of an adversary you fight and move on from, but this new mission lets you interact with her in a different way. The Zoe Sphere mission is designed to expand her story, and yes, it finally gives players a way to actually recruit Zoe and Grizzbolt as companions. Now, that's something fans have been asking about for months. Zoe is one of the most recognizable NPCs in the game, and being able to actually have her on your team alongside her electric beast Grizzbolt is a massive deal. The way you unlock her isn't just by pressing a button or buying something from the shop. You have to go through a proper questline that includes some tough fights and exploration. The writing has a nice emotional touch too. It gives a bit more personality to Zoe and actually humanizes her beyond just being a tower boss. Without spoiling too much, there's a moment in the quest where you really see why she fights the way she does, and it ties back to how she treats her pals. It's small stuff like that that makes the world feel more alive. Something else worth mentioning is that the update also brings in some quality of life improvements that, while they might seem minor, actually make a big difference. For instance, the in-game chat now shows when players join or leave the server. It sounds simple, but for people who play on public or semi-public servers, this is huge. No more guessing who's online or wondering if your buddy actually connected after lagging out. It makes coordination easier, especially if you're doing big raids or sharing base resources with others. Performance-wise, the update also seems smoother. Pocket Pair didn't list every optimization in the patch notes, but players are already reporting fewer random frame drops when loading large bases or entering busy areas. It feels like the devs have quietly tweaked the way assets load, and it's definitely noticeable if you're someone who's been building mega bases or automating big PAL factories. Now, let's talk atmosphere, because this Halloween update nails it. The game world just feels different right now. The lighting tweaks are subtle, but at night, you get this eerie, moody tone with fog that seems denser and light sources that pop a little more. It's like the whole world has gone into costume. Even the way some of the pals appear feels a bit creepier, but in a good way. You'll spot some wearing masks, pumpkin decorations scattered around settlements, and even some ambient changes to music in certain regions. It's those little details that make you stop and appreciate how far Palworld has come since its early access release. The timing of this update also feels intentional. The community's been a bit quiet after the summer patch, and this is the kind of event that reignites that spark. Halloween events are classic ways to get players re-engaged, but this one adds enough story and reward content to keep people coming back instead of just farming candy or skins for a few days. The new armor, the Zoe questline, the special pal spawns, it's all crafted to keep you playing longer, and it works. Now, let's circle back to Zoe and Grizzbolt for a second, because this really feels like a turning point in how Pocket Pair is handling the game's characters. In the past, tower bosses were mostly static. They existed for you to challenge, defeat, and move on. But adding recruitable versions of these characters, complete with their own mission paths, hints at something bigger coming down the line. Imagine if future updates let you form a kind of team of tower leaders, each with their unique abilities and lore driven mechanics. Zoe might just be the start of that system. From what players are reporting so far, the Zoe Sphere mission has some nice progression pacing. It's not something you can finish in 10 minutes. You're encouraged to explore, battle through certain areas again, and collect a few special resources to activate the sphere. The quest rewards are meaningful too. It's not just the satisfaction of completing it. The actual utility of having Zoe and Grizzbolt makes it worthwhile, especially since Grizzbolt's electric attacks remain some of the strongest in the game for handling tougher creatures and enemy camps. Another interesting touch in this update is the slight rebalancing of some existing systems. Palworld automation feels a bit smoother, and a couple of crafting timers seem shorter. It's not mentioned in the notes, but crafting armor and certain advanced items feels faster now. Either that's a stealth tweak or players are just noticing the game running more efficiently overall. And it's cool to see how the devs are treating seasonal updates as chances to deepen lore, not just throw in event items. The Halloween mission gives off this sense that we might see similar themed updates for other times of year. Maybe a winter festival, maybe something around the game's anniversary. If they keep the tone and effort at this level, that could easily become a yearly rhythm for Palworld, keeping it feeling fresh even between major content drops. Another community observation that's been floating around since the patch dropped is that the update file size was pretty hefty. Some players thought it was just a hotfix at first, but this was a real content injection. That's probably why the build number changed instead of just bumping the internal version tag. The devs have clearly packed a lot under the hood here, and you can tell they're laying groundwork for bigger narrative elements. Also worth noting, there's been talk that this event update could tie into future multiplayer expansions. The join leave notifications in chat might seem like a small change, but when you combine that with the way the game's been adjusting server stability lately, it feels like they're testing things out for larger scale co-op events down the road. Imagine world bosses or region-wide events where tons of players work together to take down massive piles. That kind of feature would totally fit the tone of the game, and if they're improving social systems now, that could very well be where this is heading. If you're new to Palworld and maybe haven't played much since launch, this update's a great excuse to jump back in. The Halloween content is accessible pretty early once you've got a decent base setup, and the game's systems have matured a lot. Building, farming, and managing pals feels more balanced now, and the overall performance makes it easier to enjoy on mid-range PCs or consoles. Plus, the community is more stable these days. You'll find plenty of active servers running this new content right now. For veteran players, though, this update is also a reminder of how flexible the game has become. The developers are not afraid to experiment with tone and structure. They're starting to blur the line between standard updates and full-on expansion content, and that's a good sign for long-term players who want the game to keep growing. It also shows that Pocket Pair listens to feedback. Players have been asking for more character-driven missions for months, and now we have one of the most iconic NPCs becoming recruitable through a quest that actually has some depth to it. And the community response so far has been really positive.